The African Union is giving Sudan and South Sudan 2 weeks to return to the negotiating table and iron out their litany of disputes. Or in 90 days, the AU says it will issue its own binding rulings. And we have just learned that South Sudanese President Salva Kiir is cutting short his trip to China to return home and deal with the domestic issues.
Now, the AU ultimatum highlights its frustration at the breakdown of negotiations led by former South African President Thabo Mbeki. The AU's Peace and Security Council issued a 7-point roadmap late on Tuesday during meetings in Addis Ababa that called on both sides to stop fighting within 48 hours. Top ministers from both Sudan and South Sudan expressed their concerns over the conflict.
There are problems. South Sudan is hosting rebels from Darfur. South Sudan is hosting rebels from Blue Nile and from South Kordofan. And this couldn't be accepted. If on daily basis our borders are attacked from within South Sudan, this couldn't be accepted. So I just wanted everybody to focus on this matter.
Tensions are still high. It depends on what comes out from here, because we asked the Peace and Security Council to come up with resolutions which should go beyond normal urging parties to do this and that. They should come up with concrete positions.
Meanwhile, U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Susan Rice, says UN officials briefed the Security Council Tuesday, noting that the withdrawal of South Sudanese troops from the oil town of Heglig was initially encouraging, but has resulted in increased bombings by Sudan.
The United States welcomes the withdrawal of the SPLA from Heglig. We strongly condemn Sudan's incursion into South Sudan, and in particular its heavy aerial bombardments of civilian areas and infrastructure, and we call for the immediate cessation of hostilities. We recognize the right of South Sudan to defend itself and urge South Sudan to exercise maximal restraint in its reaction to Sudan's attacks.
Rice says the UN mission in South Sudan has confirmed that recent airstrikes in Unity State by Sudan have killed at least 16 civilians and wounded 34 others.